that.
Controversy or not, they get the win. Bobby Wagner back-to-back weeks with huge plays, and the playoff picture changes a bit. The Seahawks looking good. They can clinch a spot in the playoffs with a win over the Niners in Week 15. And Triggs, the Vikings are still alive.
Still there. They played a horrible game last night. The Vikings were the worst team you could ever imagine, and yet, if the playoffs were tomorrow, they'd be in.
All right, riddle me this. Looking at these teams in this very NFC playoff picture, the Saints, the Bears, the Boys, and the Hawks all came away with Week 14 victories. Which one meant the most, Kyle?
I thought the Bears were going to beat the Rams. I did, but not like that. I mean, that win, they got one of the Infinity Stones, and that was an amazing thing. You know why? Because Trubisky was really bad, really sloppy, and he threw 3 picks, and they still beat the best team in football. You think about that, that's one of those things, when you say you know ahead of time, Trubisky's going to throw 3 picks in this game. They might lose by 30 points, you think. I don't care how good their defense is. The Rams are too good. No, Trubisky still did, and it was too much of this and too much defense, too much Soldier Field, too much Nagy, who I don't think gets enough credit for how much they ran Jordan Howard early. The Rams' offense was barely on the field. And big picture-wise, the Bears could win the whole thing. They really could. The defense is that good. I just was so shocked how this went down. I went from saying the Dallas over New Orleans was the best win of the year. This performance by this defense was second to none. Absolute butt-kicking of McVay and company, which just doesn't happen. Amazing win.
I think I'm going to go with Kyle with the Bears. Maybe a little different reason, and I'm looking at the Rams side of it. Most meaningful win, the Bears exposed the Rams. The Bears showed that the Rams can bleed. You know that Xerxes bleeds thing that they do on 300? That's what I felt like with the Rams. I thought that, cold weather, they'll be fine. These guys are pros. The Rams do not play well in cold weather. That was not a thing of beauty. Sean McVay will be fine. He'll out-scheme Vic Fangio ran circles around Sean McVay on Sunday. The Rams are vulnerable. And if I'm a team around the league, I look at how the Bears did it. They controlled the ball, and they beat the snot out of the quarterback. Goff was atrocious on Sunday night. He had nothing going. It looked like he didn't even want to be in the building. And I think the Bears showed the rest of the league, the Rams, they've had a nice gig here, and it's great in sunny weather. But you put the Rams in an uncomfortable situation, we can beat them. Bears, hats off to you. But to more than anything here, the most meaningful win, it showed the other teams that NFC playoff picture, you don't have to be scared of the Rams. You can knock them around a little bit, and they can bleed.
I like that. Leonidas. He aimed that thing.
That spear, man.
Hit Xerxes right there, knocking off his lip ring.
I'd say it hit Todd Gurley, but he wasn't on the field to do that.
Yeah,
so.
I hear you.
Ooh, shade.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. You want to talk about meaningful. Meaningful. When the Panthers, Eagles, Redskins all lose in one weekend, and you're looking for just a little bit of breathing room, a wild card spot, you got to have it. And the reason I identify with this is because I've been there. I've been there late in the season, sitting in that wild card column, and you're looking at these other teams that are good. And, if they get hot, as you get hot, they could easily be in your spot. And Russell Wilson, even though he didn't play the game that we assumed he would play on Monday night, he still got the dub. So say whatever you want about the 37.9 passer rate or the 0 TD and the interception. He's making plays like this in moments where it matters. And I feel like this team will make plays like this in moments where it matters. The defense all of a sudden is making play after play. Anchored by Bobby Wagner, the safeties, cornerbacks are stepping up and making plays. And Kirk Cousins and what he was able to do and what he wasn't able to do was because that defensive line was exposing the offensive line of the Vikings. And I feel like they'll continue to do that in December and continue to do that in January, granted that if they make it in playoffs.
If you're the Cowboys or the Bears and you're hosting a wild card game, is there a team you want to see less than Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner with all their experience coming into the building?
And there's something to be said about a team that's comfortable. Listen, we're going to praise a ton of teams that are in new spots. But there's going to be a ton of teams in new spots, which means these bright lights are going to be blinding to a young fella like Pat Mahomes. It's going to be blinding to Todd Gurley and Jared Goff, who hasn't even tasted a playoff victory. Russell Wilson, walking in that locker room, calming his guys down. Hey, I've been to the mountaintop, fellas. Chill out. These brights ain't that light. It ain't going to get that hot. This stage is every other stage you've been on. It's a different perspective when you have a guy who's been there.
Right.
Can you do the blinding thing again?
Blinding lights.
Nate, we should do a segment of tag teams for each team, like who's the most dangerous. I feel like Russell and Wagner right now. I mean, the Legion of Boom is gone. They're like the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, those two guys, like, look out.
How about the Cowboys, guys?
Great.
They knocked off the defending champs. They can win the division with a win this week. The Eagles lost, and so did the Redskins, so they're looking good there. And this was an important one, I think, for Dak, because he wasn't perfect in this game.
Right.
But there's so much criticism and so many questions on, can he throw the ball? Can he pass? He's not only that he box score put up 455, he made throws when he had to. They tied the game in the fourth quarter, and his answer was a 75-yard bomb to Amari Cooper. That's meaningful. That's the kind of stuff that instills fear in opposing defenses late in the season. They have convincing wins. They're coming together at the right time. You're talking Bobby Wagner. I submit Van Der Esch is a defensive player who is just a breakout star. I don't know. He led them downfield for the game winner in overtime. That is, by the way, his 13th career game-winning drive. Dak Prescott does not get enough credit for leading his team downfield in clutch moments to win games. He does it, and it was meaningful because if they lose this game, it's over.
Big step back.
Not to mention.
To me, it's over if they lose this game. They lose because they had me. They have me. I'm like, oh, you beat them. You beat them.
Yeah.
If they lose this one, I'm out, and I'm not.
And just like what Shrake said about the Bears exposing the Rams, the Cowboys exposed the Saints. Like, you look back at that game, maybe that's a blueprint to stopping Drew Brees in that fantastic offense.
Kyle had and it's a good debate for a longer one, that the Bears beating the Rams was the most meaningful game in the entire season. I think Cowboys over Saints is another one, and that's a great debate, and all these teams are playoff odds.
Yeah.
We'll be looking back at these in March.
Yes, we are.
I said it yesterday, and I know it sounded like a hot take that the Bears, I keep saying the Bears because they're so close. I feel like the Cowboys are the best team in the NFC, and it goes out there, and people kill me for it. A lot of people saying I should pee in a cup and all that type of stuff. I look at what they did to the Saints, and I look what the Bears did to the Rams. Cowboys defense, hottest receiver in the league, great running game, and Dak's playing better. I don't think it's a wild thing. I don't say things for reaction.
You're right.
I think right now I would take the Cowboys.
Comparing them to the Bears, you look at Dak, and Dak rose to the occasion the past couple of weeks, so Trubisky's got a little bit of a way to go to convince us that they're better than the Cowboys. The Bears' defense, though, no convincing needed. They're just dominant, doing their thing.